To become the person you want, you must destroy the person you are.
Why are kids in such a rush to join the dark side and use performance-enhancing drugs? They're rushing to get famous or perhaps infamous. They don't care. They wear a CPAP machine and brag to the world that they're abusing steroids.
If you want to be a bodybuilder, if you're going to be crazy, it's not healthy. Bodybuilding's not healthy. But if you're going to do it, try to mitigate the risks. And we mitigate the risks by getting our blood work done. We mitigate the risks by wearing a CPAP machine, keep our blood pressure in check. I don't think it's right to just assume that this kid's doing everything wrong because we saw one picture where he looks really gnarly, and that automatically means he's a fucking retard.
I'm sorry, Fuad, but it does automatically that. He's 100% fucking retard. Are you kidding me? He's wearing a CPAP machine at 21 years of age because he's been blasting steroids since he was a teenager. And for what? To be a bodybuilder? To lift heavy ass weights? Makes no sense, makes me sick, and we're gonna sit here and act like this is cool.
The fact that he's done his blood work, the fact that he's wearing a CPAP, means he gives a shit.
No, it doesn't. He gives no shits whatsoever. All he cares about is being an IFBB pro. If he gave a shit, he would come off. When you go and get your blood work, and at 21, the doctor says you have high blood pressure, your cholesterol markers are bad, your kidneys, they're shot, liver, no good. You gotta wear a CPAP machine. That doesn't mean you give a shit if you wear the CPAP. It means that you're addicted to steroids and you cannot stop. And so Maximus comments, correct. Health is always the priority in this for the long game. If health was your priority, you would be training natural. You wouldn't have taken steroids yet. He wears the CPAP machine to stand out, for shock value. To say, see how unhealthy I am, but yet I still want it because I want it better than everyone. Are you going to want it that bad when you're dead at 25? Code MAX10, road to IFBB Pro in 04. What is 04 even? Oh, he's born in 04. So he's turning 22 this year at some point. We see a guy with a lot of muscle, clearly not natural already, losing his hair. He's perhaps 20 years of age. He's got a farmer's sunburn, little bit of gyno forming, some muscle in his legs, but not really the best shape. His bodybuilding genetics, I mean, how do I know what they are? Based on his shape, they're not very good. They're average. Now, he's on steroids, so he has muscle. But steroids, they build muscle. So is it really impressive that he has a lot of muscle at 20 if he started taking them at 15, 16? Like, is that really impressive? If he looked like this natural, I would say, wow, this is unbelievable. Amazing. Would be all for him. But he did this with steroids. And so give me 6 months. And so in 6 months, he's going to make an incredible transformation because why? He's going to blast even more gear, perhaps the trend, whatever. And so what does he do? He puts on his pants because he realizes his legs suck in comparison to his upper body. And he wears a CPAP machine to prove to the world just how unhealthy this actually is. In the first row, I see 2 videos out of 3 where he's wearing a CPAP machine. And in the next row, on the left with Flood, CPAP machine. And in the next row, 2 videos out of 3 wearing a CPAP machine. 18-year-old Natty versus 20-year-old Enhanced. So at least he's admitting he's on performance-enhancing drugs. He's not one of those, I'm a natty vegan, all of this stuff. He at least admits he's not natural. 18 years old and natural looking like that, more impressive than 20-year-olds Enhanced looking like that. 125 kilogram bench press at 84 kilograms. He's benching around 276 pounds with a pause weighing 187 or so. And so he's around my size and can bench press 275 pounds. At the same age, around 17 years of age, we were very similar in strength. Now, he did outweigh me by about 40 pounds of muscle, but remember, I don't believe he's natural here, but he is very strong, very impressive. But why are we using steroids at such a young age? If you're bench pressing 275 pounds as a teenager, why not stay natural? You already have good genetics. Keep working on that. And so it's my belief that when he was 18 years of age in 2022, that he was 100% natural. He's competing in a drug-tested powerlifting competition at Worlds, bench pressing 335 pounds. He seems to be very excited about this. This is a very heavy weight at his age, and he's competing in a 180 plus pound division, somewhere around there. Why did Bro then decide to go on steroids? Imagine, his parents are so proud of his son. Wow, you know, you've been training really hard since you were 14. You're competing at Worlds. You're one of the strongest men in the world for your age. We're so proud of you, son. And then you decide to go on steroids. As a teenager, what are you now supposed to think? Well, you know what? This is what we wanted for you. We wanted our son to start steroids at 18 because, Chris Bumstead, Sam Sulek, they did the same thing. And so I want my son to follow in their footsteps. Think any parent says that? I want my 18-year-old to start blasting gear. I'm hoping that in a couple years of hard work, he puts on 50 pounds of muscle and has to wear a CPAP machine, and all of his videos are him with his pants off, flexing his most muscular. That is my goal for my son when he grows up. I'm sorry, but no parent wants that for their son. Clearly, he's got so much potential in natural powerlifting. Why not maximize that? Why not train as a natural powerlifter for years to come? I mean, I literally did this exact same thing. I was competing in powerlifting from an early age, doing the powerlifting competitions, and I didn't use steroids until I was older. Why not at least wait until you at least hit your natural genetic limit? I don't know if it was because he was watching Sam Sulek or whether it was Chris Bumstead, maybe the Trent twins, maybe it was Togi, but it was someone. Someone motivated him. Someone eventually made him think, you know what? Taking steroids, that is what I really want to do. Only 3 people in IPF history have benched 200 plus kilograms at 19 years of age at 93 kilograms. 10 months to make this comp standard. Easy work. He's one of the strongest men in the world. He's bench pressing 440 pounds. He's claiming to be natural here, and he weighs about 205 pounds, give or take. And he's only 19. This is way stronger than I was. Why would he then go on steroids? What's wrong with continuing with what you're doing? And so rather than showing you how strong he is, he's now showing you his physique. And yeah, he's not natural here. A 20-year-old, this is not natural. He has so much muscle definition. But why is he already on steroids at 20? I mean, he was already had gifted genetics. He's already far superior to everybody else. And so he didn't need them. At 20, 106 kilograms. It's about 235 pounds. So he's up about 30 pounds of muscle in the same year. As you get older, you lose some of those newbie gains. The longer you've been training, you have the law of diminished returns. And so you should expect to put on less muscle, not more. He's putting on perhaps 10 pounds of muscle in a year, great genetics. Then suddenly he's putting on 30. Why do you think that is? I mean, look at him at 14, 65 kilograms, 143 pounds at 14. He has crazy genetics. And I have to think that he's natural at 14. Why are kids in such a rush to join the dark side and use performance-enhancing drugs? Is it because of guys like Sam Sulek and Chris Bumstead, the Trent twins? They're rushing to get famous or perhaps infamous. They don't care. They wear a CPAP machine and brag to the world that they're abusing steroids. What do you think this does? And let's say this guy does get famous. Perhaps he does win a pro card. As much as I don't think he's going to get one, what if he does? Other people are going to follow suit. They're going to say, see, Greg said he wouldn't do it. Look, he's a pro now. I want to take steroids, and maybe instead of starting at 18, I'll start at 14. That'll give me an even better chance. Natty 16-year-old versus enhanced 20-year-old. The natty 16-year-old has so much more potential than the enhanced 20-year-old. If he is, in fact, natural at 16, because how do we know that that's true? I don't have his blood work. 84 kilograms natural looking like that at 16. I mean, what are they all on the same things in this town? I think he was natural when he was 14. Now, remember, it's possible that I got it wrong. It's possible he was using steroids the entire of his teenage years, but I do believe that when he competed in those powerlifting competitions that he was in fact natural.
To become the person you want, you must destroy the person you are. To become the person that you are, you must destroy the person that you were.
So to become the roided up 21-year-old on a CPAP machine who's taken 20 years on your life, you have to destroy the natural, health conscious person who had goals to be perhaps the strongest bench presser in the world. Well, natural. You're world champion. Why not win it again? Why not be the Masters? Why not be the open world champion rather than just the junior champion, teenage champion? Why not work your way up? Why the mask? Heart problems because of gear abuse. No one cared who he was until he put on the mask. What's your life expectancy? And his response, Wednesday. It's all fun and games when you're a 21-year-old. When you don't care, when you can't see the future, and perhaps you hate me for making this video. I can see the comments now. I can predict them. Oh, talking about a little boy. He's just a kid. Trying to help him. What? Why didn't you write him in private? Imagine. Hey, it's just Coach Greg. I was just suggesting that you go off steroids because you're wearing a MAV. I saw you were really good at bench press. I think you should stop steroids right now. Send. Do you really think there's even a 1 in a million chance that that gets him to stop taking steroids? Because Coach Greg wrote him a DM in private. You should stop taking steroids, taking 20 years off your life. No. This video, this may work. Will it work? Probably not. But some people will benefit from this. If you need to grab an oxygen mask after doing 3 sets of lat pull downs, you're in some trouble. There's no way he's so tired that he needs an oxygen mask, and as if the oxygen mask is going to do anything. Guys, go to the gym and you train. The oxygen mask, it's not going to be any benefit. But if you do want some benefit, GO2 Max and Turk Platinum. That is what you need. 100% natural, healthy, not taking years off of your life. Save the steroids, if ever, for much later. Now remember, use code Greg for 15% off, and also get your blood work done. And if the blood work comes back bad, you need to make some changes. There's no way this kid's blood work is healthy. I don't care what Fuad said. If you look like this and you get your blood work done, there's going to be so many problems. And if you have to wear a CPAP machine, that is the nail in the coffin. I'm hoping that you learned something, that you don't need to use steroids, that this kid clearly had 99.999% genetics. He was a world champion in the bench press before even taking steroids. And so why didn't he keep going? I'm so thankful that I at least waited until I was in my 30s before using and abusing performance-enhancing drugs. Now, would have been better if I had never done them in the first place, never done them at all, but at least I waited. I trained natural for 20 plus years, and at that point I said, you know what, I want a pro card, and I decided to use steroids. It is what it is. If I could have a do-over, I would say I'm not going to do that. And so if I could go back in time to when I was 21 and I was in his shoes deciding, should I be continuing steroids or not? I would say absolutely not. He has so much potential without it. He's wasting his life. He's wasting years off of his life. And so I hope he reconsiders. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. And remember, we're looking to sponsor athletes. If you're interested, if you have a big following, click the link and apply right now. Also, if you want to be an ambassador, if you want to have HLT supplements in your stores or gyms, apply by clicking the link. Cookbooks, supplements, code Greg, 15% off. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment, boosts the algorithm. Also, watch any of those 2 bloops. Coaching by me as well as my team. You can apply by clicking the link right now. Taking on a few more clients. I've got a few more this week after the New Year's. There's some more people came on. So if you're interested, apply right now. And until next time, I am out.